all the other resolutions I speak of have been implemented. All the other resolutions I speak of have been implemented. Why has this one not been implemented?
That is where the story is. That is where council has collapsed. That is where most of the money is being stolen. There is no accountability. An organization such as the city of Harare, not bringing back an ERP that had been operating for 11 years, and then operating for 6 years without an ERP. That is where the problem is. The management does not want to implement the resolution on ERP. They will implement peripheral issues, except the one that is of. It's like EcoCash operating without a system for a day. We've gone for 6 years.
That is where council has collapsed, were your words.
Yes.
We're sitting here with a council that has collapsed.
Yes, on that score.
And that is the score of revenue collection.
Yes.
And that is the score from which all service provision issues are premised. So if that has collapsed, the council has collapsed.
I appreciate your comprehension of this issue. This is,
thank you.
This is where I was trying to come to. Without an ERP, it's like a bank operating without a system. The council has been doing so for 6 years. They have not been able to do an audit. And I have been a lone voice in saying we need to implement the Auditor General's recommendation, bring back, and I'm happy that the ministry has agreed with me, we are bringing back, but it's being delayed by the Secretariat.
You have been a lone voice to the exclusion of everybody else, including your fellow councillors.
Sam.
Now, is it not in fact a fact that the provision or the installation of an ERP system has not materialized because both council officials and your councillors who you lead have got a pact of corruption whereby they are benefiting from the council's lack of ability to audit its functions accurately?
Some, yeah. When it comes to some executive and some councillors, it's when you.
It is a criminal cartel fleecing the system by blocking the installation of an ERP, and it constitutes of members from both sides of the river, council officials and councillors. Otherwise, it wouldn't succeed.
And that cartel is trying to use the commission to say I should not insist on an ERP. I'm a victim here.
Before we agree on what it's trying to do, let's agree that it does exist.
Yes, it does. Do you know what it does?
So
it's not only finance. If you have an ERP, you can monitor leases. Why is there no record, a computerized record of all the leases that the city council has issued? Why is there no computerized record on graves? Why is there no computerized record on markets? All the functions of a council can be put in a program, computerized issues around giving tickets for municipal. So when I say ERP is the council itself. And all these things are not there deliberately. And because the executive does not want an ERP to come on board. And the
executive and councillors.
Well,
Mayor.
Okay, but I will lean towards the executive because the councillors, I've been able to get resolutions out of them. But the executives have proven a very formidable foe, right to the point that at this juncture, almost a conclusion was carrying the day that we should not force us to have an ERP.
But, Mr. Mayor, Your Worship, you have just testified in this commission that you suspended the town clerk.
Yes, I did.
And the town clerk is the chief executive officer of city council.
Yes.
But you were able to suspend him.
The law allows me to.
You were able to suspend him.
Yes.
Why have you not suspended these executives that are acting as a barrier to the establishment of the ERP?
They have created a procedure of firewall between myself and them. That's why they are saying that you...
What firewall? This firewall didn't stop you from suspending the town clerk.
No, the town clerk could not, because the Act allows me to suspend him in specific words. Now the other ones, I have to they have to be suspended through their superior. So if you are a finance director or anybody, you have to be suspended through your boss, cascading downwards. You cannot be suspended.
And all of them answer to the town clerk.
Yes.
And the town clerk can fire all of them.
Yes.
And you can fire the town clerk.
As I've done.
But you want to tell us that you are unable to fire these executives that are blocking you from establishing
If
what
I-
you've been fighting
If
for
I
10
had,
years.
if I had authority to write the letters, a whole lot more people would have been dealt with by now. Because the situation, like I have chronicled, the gaps that are there, in my view, the executives have created gaps of lack of accountability, which allows for loopholes. And the sad thing is that we have readily available IT solutions for those problems.
No, you see, we're looking, I'm writing on your evidence. And I'm writing as what you have defined as your role, which is oversight.
Yes.
And all these things, where you have not taken action, are ascribable to yourself ultimately. And your councillors, but yourself ultimately.
Yes, it's to me ultimately. That's why
But it stops with you.
it stops with me.
Now, if you have been trying for 5 years and you have not succeeded, on what basis can citizens expect that someday you will succeed?
No, I succeeded this year.
We don't have an ERP.
No, but the ministry wrote a letter. Everybody has agreed that we must procure an ERP, and we are being assisted by the ministry. And I'm sure that by the end of this month, that contract will have been signed.
All right, let me
If not next week.
before I move on.
So that one I've succeeded.
Before I move on, no, we don't have it.
It's coming
The
this week.
the truth of the pudding is in the eating.
I'm proud of the work that I've done, and I've...
Now let's